Back in 2017, I went on a launch of a car that most people think is a family hauler, but I took it off-road and found out that it really has the bones of an off-roader, except back then it was a little too expensive, a little too nice to take off-road. Well, I am here to tell you today that I've just purchased that car and we're going to take it off-road and we're going to prove just how good this car that many of you will disregard as being boring and being, you know, kind of the car you take the kids to school in is indeed one of the better, if not one of the best off-roaders out there. So here it is. I just bought this. It is the 2018 Land Rover Discovery. Now I have to tell you, Tommy thinks this car is super boring and that we shouldn't have bought it, but I think that it's a hidden gem, especially if you want to go off-roading. So how much did we pay for it? Well, back in the day, these cars were about $70,000 and we got it for the grand total of $21,000 with 85,000 miles on it. Now, I know what you're saying. It's a Land Rover. Of course, it's going to depreciate because it's going to break. But this one is special. Not only was this the hero color, in other words, the launch color, and I really love the color. I believe it's called Orange Phoenix Metallic or something like that. If I got it wrong, correct me. But this one is the right spec. And what I mean by the right spec is it's not what you expect that's under the hood, because you could get this in a 3-liter supercharged engine, but what you want is this engine. It's got 443 pound-foot of torque. And the reason I'm not talking about horsepower but torque is because, let's face it, off-roading is more about torque than about horsepower. Horsepower is about top speed. And the reason it has so much torque is because that, my friends, is a diesel. That's right, it's got a diesel engine. I believe this is the same diesel that was once under the hood of the Ford F-150, and in the UK especially, Land Rover and diesels go together like peanut butter and jelly, because these are big, heavy cars and you want as much torque, so you can do two things. You can tow and you could get good fuel economy. Now, what makes this so off-road worthy? Why don't you, Gavin, hop in on the passenger side and I will show you. So it's got kind of the most important things that you want in an off-roader. First and foremost, if you look down here, it's got this, the little button that says low. That means it has low range. Secondly, if you look over here, it's got air suspension. So you can raise the vehicle for better approach, departure, and breakover height. And thirdly, it's got the thing that Land Rover pioneered, which is this, and that is, of course, their terrain management system, so you can choose what kind of terrain you're on. And you combine that with the chugging power of a diesel, and you've got what makes for a great off-roader. And in this video series, and if you have a name for this car, by the way, let me know in the comments below. We're going to find out if I was swayed by the color, which I love, and swayed by the program where they took us to these incredible places in Arizona and we took this off-road, or if indeed this is a good off-roader, because the first thing we're going to do is throw on some all-terrains, and the second thing we're going to do is take it to my favorite place in the world, and that is Moab. But before we do that, let me show you something else. Come on out here. Gavin, if you point the camera underneath, you will see something interesting. What I mean by that is there's kind of this fake skid plate, but if you look down here, there is the real skid plate. And if you look underneath, you'll note that all of the key parts that could get damaged are also covered with real metal. So the three ingredients that this has are raisable suspension, low range, and of course, Under Armour, which is all the stuff that a Jeep Wrangler will have. And guys, at $20,000, you're probably not going to be able to even buy a Rubicon Wrangler for that. You guys love car and trucks? Well, I've got 3 great podcasts that you will enjoy listening to, because we are deep into cars and trucks. And talking about trucks, right here is my man Andre and Case working on the next episode of Talking Trucks, where they delve deep into everything that is truckish, including breaking truck news, talking about the different models that are coming up, and of course, tearing down the world of trucks as only Andre and Case know how to do. But if trucks are not your thing and cars are sort of your thing, check out Carish, our podcast that is sort of car adjacent with Jen and Mary being the ish part of Carish. And finally, Tommy and myself talk all about cars at TFL's Car Chat, where we look into the newest models, talk about what's happening in the world of cars, break down the latest news. All three of these podcasts are available wherever you get your podcasts, so check them out. I think you'll really enjoy them. Now, of course, the design of this is controversial. Let me show you the most controversial part of it. Even back when I went on the launch of it, people were like, this is weird. And that would be this right here, this off-center license, which people don't like, and I kind of do like. Now, the model that we got is the HSE TD6. That, of course, stands for turbo diesel 6-cylinder, and the HSE means that it's the luxurious one, the one that has all of the bells and whistles. So we're talking things like heated seats, heated steering wheel, dual sunroofs, and I already forgot how to open. Maybe it's on the key. Let's see if it's on the key. If I can open the back. Yes, it is. There we go. Look at that. Another favorite feature is you could get these in a 7-passenger configuration, in other words, a 3-row, but this one doesn't have it, which would probably make for a bad resale, but makes for perfect overlanding rig because you don't need those rear seats. I do love this. Yes, just like a Range Rover, you have this little seat here that you can use, and then I believe, if I remember right, I can actually raise the car and lower the car with these two buttons. So if you need to have like our dog jump in, or you need to be able to get stuff out of it, you can just lower the car. So I'm gonna try to lower it. Gavin, why don't you go around the side and see if it lowers? So let's see if it goes down. All right. Look at that, it works. How cool is that? Now, of course, you will see a lot of Land Rovers like this with their suspension collapsed, but this one does not have a collapsed suspension. I just lowered it, so it's much more comfortable for good old Blazy to get in here. So look at that. Now that is very comfortable. I also like this. That kind of covers the back if you close the little thing here so that you can keep your stuff hidden. We do have Land Rover, I guess that's a little rubber pad, which is nice. And then I don't know what's under here because the spare tire, which is a full-size spares, lives. Oh, look at that little storage bin. And I'm guessing there should have been something in here. Maybe, I wonder if we're missing something. I wonder if we're missing like a jack. Possible. I don't know. I don't know what was under there originally, but under there, why don't you show them, is the other thing you want when you're off-roading. Look at that, a full-size spare. How good is that? So, like I told you earlier, Tommy does not like this vehicle. He thinks it's boring, he thinks it's ugly, he thinks it's a I don't know, jelly belly, I guess, because of the round nature of it. But I think it's really good off-road. Now, right now, these tires that came with it are not off-road tires. But if you remember from last year, I bought a Range Rover long wheelbase and took it off-road. And I do have that set of wheels that we put on it with the off-road tires. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove these and we're going to put on those off-road Land Rover wheels and tires. And second thing we're going to do is take it to Moab. And the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to get to drive it home right now. And Tommy has never driven this car as far as I know. So we'll do part 2 of this video in a second when I get it back to Boulder, because I did buy it here at Land Rover of Denver. And then we'll get Tommy behind the wheel and just see how grumpy he is about me having purchased a car. Uh-oh, look at this. It's a little bit of that protection that is peeling off. It is 85,000 miles and 7 years old, so it can't be perfect. Over here you've got a little bit of a rock chip, very common, but the windshield isn't chipped. But I think it's time for Tommy to drive it, and let's cut to that now. Hey Tommy, guess what? I did something that you're not going to be happy about.
What's going on?
I bought a new car.
What'd you get there?
A car you hate.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's the Land Rover Discovery. Now, you remember back in 2017, I went on a program and I took the Discovery into some pretty hard off-roading.
I do remember that.
Well, my supposition, my man, is that this car is an unheralded off-roader.
Well, I don't hate Land Rovers. In fact, I love them. But historically, I haven't liked the 5 very much. But this one's a pretty cool color. It's like a burnt orange. Look at this.
Yeah, this is the hero color from that program, and they've gotten affordable, quote unquote.
Yeah, what'd you pay for this one?
$25,000. No, sorry, $21,000.
The crazy thing is, $21,000. Okay, a 2016 LR4 would probably be more expensive than this. What, 2018?
Yeah.
2018 Discovery 5.
You mean the boxy one is more expensive than the round one?
Yeah, because people like the box, and then when they went to the smoothed out shape, I think it kind of lost the plot for some of us Land Rover enthusiasts. But this thing looks pretty nice. I like the orange. Let's see the inside here.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's true actually. I think the 2016 might be less expensive than this Discovery 5.
No, the last year of the LR4s,
Yeah.
really valuable. People really want them.
They want that supercharged 6-cylinder,
Yeah.
which is basically an 8-cylinder with 2 cylinders missing.
Yeah, same engine you can get in this one. And then this one, what's the engine in this one?
Well, that's what makes it so cool. Let me show you. Come on back here. Here, it says right here. Look at this, dude.
See.
That's what makes it so cool. Look at that, TD6.
Okay.
So it's the turbo diesel, and I believe it's the same one that Ford has been using in the F-150.
Such a good engine, they killed it immediately.
They didn't kill it. Look, in the UK, Land Rovers, Range Rovers, and diesel engines are like peanut butter and jelly because you want a lot of torque because this is a big car and you get better fuel economy, you can tow more. This is the one to get, I believe.
Okay, well, I can't wait to get on the road, so let's pull it out and see what it drives like.
Tommy, now this is the HSE.
Wow, so this is the luxury version.
This has all of the bells and whistles, and I'm talking about some pretty cool bells and whistles. Do you like a heated steering wheel?
I do like a heated steering wheel.
We have it. Do you like a heated seat?
I do.
We have it.
What about ventilated seats?
No, we don't have
Just
those.
heated, okay.
But it has, you know, a lot of really cool things, and I'll give you an example of that. The 2019 model, do you see those controls on the steering wheel?
Uh-huh.
Those were haptic. The 2018, they're still real buttons.
Good stuff right there.
Exactly.
What about CarPlay?
It's got Bluetooth. I don't think it has CarPlay.
Okay, gotcha.
Do you like 2 sunroofs?
I do.
We have 2 sunroofs.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah. Do you like air suspension?
Of course.
We have air suspension. Dare I say, one of the better rides. How about this? A CD player. Is that a throwback?
It is a little bit retro.
USB ports for your phone.
So look, it's got pretty much everything that you'd want kind of in a more modern car. Does it have adaptive cruise?
No.
Okay, got normal cruise. It's got almost everything you'd want out of a modern car.
Except for Apple CarPlay and, yeah, USB.
So here's the thing. I think that what this car does really well at is being a luxury car. So we had that older Range Rover as well, the 2015. And this feels very similar. You've got the leather on the dash, you've got the captain's chairs here, you've got all the bells and whistles. So it feels very luxurious. My issue with the Discovery 5 was never that it doesn't feel luxurious, is that it doesn't feel rugged anymore. That's the issue I have with these Discovery 5s.
Well, I mean, it's got underbody protection.
Sure.
It's got incredible approach and departure and breakover.
Okay, hold on there, Sport.
The departure is incredible. Did you see the back of that thing? It goes straight up. It goes boom.
It's all plastic everywhere. The front is plastic, and the side is plastic, and the back is plastic.
But underneath, it's all metal.
Yeah, but the plastic you'll hit before the metal.
No,
is the problem.
You could hit a pointy rock underneath.
Okay.
That's where, you know, you might damage some of the plastic, but the pointy rock will take out, you know, your gas tank. And this car has protection for it. All I remember is when I went on that program, I was amazed at how good off-road it was.
Okay.
It did some serious off-roading.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I think what's going to make or break this car for me is the off-road capability. Because there's no doubt that it's a comfortable, luxurious car on the road. It's just like we've had a ton of Discoveries in the past. I have one right now, and I love my LR3 because it isn't fancy. It feels rugged. This feels fancy, which is fine, but it has to prove itself out on the trail for me.
Look, we've got off-road information.
Yeah, that's cool. Yes, you can see your suspension position. You can see your center locking diff, what it's doing.
Yes, we've got different drive modes specific for off-road.
Nice.
Which is a unique Land Rover / Range Rover thing. So yeah, I agree. I mean, what Land Rover / Range Rover did was they made a luxurious And the Discovery isn't that luxurious. It's not a Range Rover per se, but they made a very luxurious car, and yet they still kept it off-road capable.
I'm not convinced, but maybe when we get it out in the dirt, I will be.
All right. How about as a regular way it drives?
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you do want a very premium feeling family car that doesn't maybe have some of the baggage of the Range Rover brand, this is a great option. It's got a super soft ride, this air suspension soaking it up, even on these 21-inch wheels, which is saying something. It seems to have plenty of power. Can't really hear that diesel engine at all. It just kind of blends into the background. And it's fairly quiet on the highway here at 55 miles an hour. So I think that as a family car, this offers a lot of goodies. Did you get the 5 or the 7-seater?
What do you think?
I don't know. I haven't checked.
I got the 5-seater.
Okay, so it's the 5-seater.
Yeah, I didn't want the 7-seater. I just feel like that takes it, it makes it more mall crawler than off-roader.
Okay, fair enough. I understand that.
It'll be hard to sell at the end of the day because people want the extra row of seats, for families.
Yeah.
But, for off-roading, you want all that space back there to be available for off-roady stuff or for camping stuff and not another row of seats.
I mean, the question is that everyone's wondering is it good value for comfort for the money? Is it going to be reliable? And that's what I'm really going to be curious to find out over the next year or two.
Yeah, we'll hold on to this one. I mean, I think at $21,000, it's a vehicle that's not burning a hole in our budget. So, we can hold on to it. We didn't hold on to the Defender very long, but that was a much more expensive vehicle. This one, I feel like we can see how reliable an 85,000 mile Land Rover is, because let's face it, you're right. Everybody says that these things depreciate, and they do like a rock, because if you have to go and fix them, it gets very expensive. So we'll see. One of the things that this car hasn't done is the timing chain. That's a $4,000 service, Tommy. That's
it's a belt on the diesels.
Sorry, a timing belt.
Yeah.
That's a $4,000 service, I think, that has to be done at 7 years or 15,000 miles. So we're definitely at 7 years.
I think it needs to be done now.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. 7 years.
80,000 miles is typically where.
No. It's that or 150.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So are we going to do it, or are we just going to risk it?
We're going to roll the dice, baby, because that's how we roll. Of course, we're going to risk it.
Okay.
That would make a $21,000 car a $25,000 car. That's just pushing the limit a little too much.
Yeah, I mean, look, what I think the smartest thing Land Rover did with this Discovery is take this platform and then build a Defender on it. Because all the complaints I have with this car, they fixed with the Defender, right? What they did with the Defender is they took this platform and then they ruggedized it, right? And that really has become the new Discovery.
They didn't make it more rugged underneath. They made it more rugged looking.
Well,
yes,
they also gave it, you could get better tires from the factory.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember those better tires. We had them.
But yeah, they were much better.
It became a meme.
Yeah, so yeah, I hope that this impresses me on the trail. On the road, I think it's very comfortable and compliant. But like, you're kind of missing some of the LR3, LR4 stuff. Like, you don't get that command driving position. You kind of sit low in this car.
I'm sitting pretty high.
I disagree. I mean, compared to like an LR4.
I think we're sitting, maybe not as high as like the P38. I mean, that one I'm
you're sitting really high.
I'm hitting my head on the ceiling.
So I think it's a comfortable, smooth family car.
I think it's an unheralded car that people didn't like because whenever you take a car that's very squared off, square jawed, and make it more round, it never works, right?
Yeah.
If you make a car and you take it and you make it more masculine, then both guys and gals like it. If you take a car and make it more feminine, which I think this is what they did, dare I say London chic, that it never works.
Sure.
And that's what happened with this. And I think that's why these things are, I don't want to say a bargain, but certainly good value for your money.
Well, maybe it'll be incredible off-road. I'm excited to try it.
All right,
in the dirt.
Well, we're off to Moab, and we're going to find out. And maybe you're right, and I was wrong, but it's a good thing to test.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to see how it does. It is a very comfy car. They got that right, for sure.
My memory could be through rose-colored, or in this case,
maybe orange-colored glasses.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. As always, head on over to where, Tommy?
TFL.com.
And we'll see you next time. Ciao.